Have you ever heard of the saying, survival of the fittest? What exactly does it mean? Well, it is a phrase that originated from the evolutionary theory called natural selection. You may be asking yourself, what is natural selection? Natural selection is one of the key subjects contained in the idea of evolution. It is a mechanism by which populations adapt and evolve. Those individual organisms who happen to be the best suited to an environment survive and reproduce most successfully, producing many similar well-adapted offspring. After numerous such breeding cycles, the better adapted dominate the population. Nature has filtered out poorly suited individuals and the population has evolved. The idea first originated from Englishman Charles Darwin. Darwin was born February 12 in 1909 in Shrewsbury, England. Many of his relatives and ancestors were scientists. After graduating Christ's College with a bachelor's degree in 1831, he got recommended to join a 5-year voyage on the HMS Beagle to South America. The ship captain needed naturalists, and Charles Darwin was just that. During the expedition, Charles collected a variety of data and specimens. Darwin noticed similarities among species all over the globe, along with the variations based on specific locations. This led him to believe that they had gradually evolved from a common ancestor. He came to believe that species survived through a process called natural selection, where species that successfully adapted to meet the changing requirements of their natural habitat thrived, while those who failed to evolve and reproduce died off. To describe this idea, he published a detailed explanation of his theory in his best-known work, On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection. In this book, he talked about how there are different types of natural selection. The 3 types of selection are stabilizing, directional, and diversifying. Stabilizing selection results in a decrease of a population's genetic variance, when natural selection favors an average phenotype and selects against extreme variations. An example would be a species of rats that live in a certain type of tree with the branches evenly spaced. Smaller rats could not reach from branch to branch, and larger rats would break the branches and fall. Soon all rats were just the right size for the tree branches. In a graph, you would notice the population growth becoming less. Directional selection is a population's genetic variance shift toward a new phenotype when exposed to environmental changes. Butterflies with fewer marks are more edible, so the population shifts more to the butterflies with more markings, making this population more common. In a graph, you would notice a shift in the population. Diversifying selection increases genetic variance when natural selection selects for 2 or more extreme phenotypes that each have specific advantages. An example would be the tree's population will prefer the average, making the average no longer the average. In a graph, you will notice a bell curve. The line will decrease in the average and increase in the sides.